Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
Come on and give me that, give me that, give me that good, good loving. Come on and show me that, show me that, show me that you're the one.
This is my summer makeup routine for 2023. I've used so many new products in this video that I haven't gotten to show on camera. These are my ultimate favorite products. If you like this video, if you want to see how I got my makeup, then please keep watching. Okay, so we're gonna start off with brows, and the reason I like to start off with my brows first is basically because the brow product that I use, when I put it on, I tend to get like that crust around my eyebrows, and I like to wipe off the excess before I put on like any primers or anything, because if I'm wiping off the excess, then I'm going to be wiping off the base underneath. So we're gonna get into brows first. For brows, I've been loving this at the moment. It is basically the Got to Be Glue hair gel, but in mascara one type form. I really like this. It's also good for slicking back your hair, but I tend to use it for my eyebrows. So what I do is I literally just flick up my brows and run it back and forth between them, and then I let my eyebrows dry down fully before I go on with any brow product in terms of like pencil or powder, just because I find if you go in while this product is still wet, it tends to move around and then you just don't get the desired shape that you want. And then before it dries down fully, I'm just gonna lick my finger. I know that's so unhygienic, but and I'm just gonna go around the edges just to get off all that excess, like I said, just because if you let it dry down before wiping it off, it's so much harder to wipe off afterwards. Okay, so once that's done, I'm then gonna move on to actually filling in my brows. So to fill in my brows at the moment, I'm using the Refi brow pencil. I feel like a good few people will have used this by now. My only problem with this pencil is the shade range is not that great. They literally only have a shade for like blonde hair, brown hair, and then black hair. The shade Fair is very cool toned. This shade is very warm toned, but it's very dark for my hair color, and then black, obviously I can't use it. It's kind of the only brow pencil that I have at the moment, and I hate buying multiple brow products and not finishing them. So I'm gonna wait till I finish this, and then when I finish that, I'm gonna purchase a new one. So if you have any recommendations for a new brow pencil, please let me know. Okay, so to fill my brow, I'm just gonna do one brow, just because brows stress me out. As we all know, I've said it a million times before, both my eyebrows are uneven. They've been uneven since birth. This one is lower than this one, and this one it's got more hairs basically. If you see my May favorites, you will have seen that I have a brow serum that has been working wonders, and it has actually given me more hair on this eyebrow. To fill in my brows, I start off with the bottom of my brow, and I basically just draw a line, a straight line the whole way across like that, and as you can see, it just starts off our shape for us. Now this is where I go in with the end of my brow, and then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start feathering the front of the brow. Now the only problem with putting this brow gel on before doing your brow pencil is you can't go through your brows with a spoolie then, because it's just going to remove the brow gel product. So you kind of have to just make sure you get the shape that you want, and then once we carve it out with concealer, it'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to do this to this side and we'll be back. Okay, so I also went ahead and carved them out, but as you can see, I cannot get my brows even for the life of me. They just don't exist. This one's more rounded, this one has a more pointy edge, and I can't get it right, but it's fine. We're just gonna keep going. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with my base, and I have been loving this. If you've not tried it yet, it is the Primark Pennies, whatever you want to call it, PS Prep and Perfect Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer. This is the dupe of the Bobbi Brown face base. I have really sensitive skin, and my skin has actually been enjoying this, which is a rare occasion for me. I love how lightweight it is. It definitely doesn't have the same feel as the Bobbi Brown one. I feel like the Bobbi Brown one feels quite thick, which is actually making this one stand out more for me than the Bobbi Brown one, because this one's so lightweight. So for coming into summer, just got all of my hair. For coming into summer, this is going to be so much nicer to have on your face compared to the Bobbi Brown face base. The Bobbi Brown face base is like €40, and this is a £5, and you get so much in it. It feels luxurious, like it's very heavy. I don't know what this is made out of, to be honest, but this is really, really good, and if you have dry skin, you're gonna love it. Okay, so like I said, this obviously is a summer makeup routine, so I'm gonna go in with more of kind of like a lighter weight foundation that still gives me some bit of coverage. So I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Mine is in the shade 6. My tan is starting to wear away, so this isn't gonna 100% match me, but it does match me when I have a fresh tan. And we're gonna use it with a beauty blender, so I'm just gonna pump one bit onto the sponge. I'm gonna start blending it around our face. As you can see, it very much does not match, but I do have a little bit of tan on, and I wanted to get this video out, so we're just gonna drag it down our neck and pretend that it does match. But I really, really like this foundation. It's super lightweight, super easy to blend. You can't feel it on your face. It also provides a really, really nice coverage without feeling really cakey and without looking really cakey. You can still see my freckles through it, but it covers my blemishes. But if you've been looking for a foundation that's not quite a BB cream, because to me BB creams, not that they're kind of like a fluke, maybe I just haven't found the right one, but to me BB creams just, they don't do anything. They don't even out your skin tone. I feel like it is just a tinted moisturizer that you see the tint when you first put it on, and then by the time it comes to blending out, it's like, is there anything even on my face? Also, if you can hear children screaming, I am filming this at like 4:20, so kids are back from school. So if you hear any noise, that's what that is. So once that's all blended in, I'm happy. As you can see, you can still see my freckles, like there's no covering them, but it covers my blemishes, which I love. Then we move on to concealer. Now I like to still keep my concealer a little bit more high coverage, just because my dark circles are quite dark. I just like to have a little bit more coverage on the center of my face, whereas the outskirts of my face, I feel like they don't need as much. Today I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. I picked this up ages ago and then I totally forgot about it, and then the other day I picked it up again because I was like, I need to start using makeup in my collection that I don't use that often. And I picked it up and I put it on, and the coverage and just the finish of it was exactly what I wanted. It was exactly what I wanted for summer. Super lightweight, super thin, which I feel like nowadays it's hard to find in a concealer. Like concealers nowadays to me are quite thick. I'm just like, you don't need that type of thickness just to get coverage. Like coverage can also be found in thinner concealers, and this is it. The shade that I use, sorry, is 1N, so it's kind of like one of the lighter shades, and it's still quite dark to be fair for being 1N. Like I couldn't get away with this shade being pale, but I just blended in with a beauty blender. For me, beauty blenders are the one in summer because it just gives you more of a natural finish than say a brush. Like brushes will keep the coverage that the product is designed to do, whereas a beauty blender is always just gonna sheer out the product a little bit, which I like, especially like I said, coming into summer. It just means everything's a bit more lighter on the face and you can still see like your freckles and everything through it. Okay, so onto cream bronzer. Coming into summer, cream bronzer, even in winter I wear cream bronzer, but especially in summer, cream bronzer I love so much. So this is the Milk Makeup matte bronzer in the shade Baked. I just draw it onto my face, on my forehead, on my cheekbones, a little bit on my chin, and then on my nose. I'm quite rough with my contour placement, my cream bronzer placement, because I'd like it again to be quite natural. I'm not too worried about structure. Obviously if I was going on a night out, I would be a lot more like placement focused. But when it's just an everyday makeup routine, I'm not too worried about the placement of it. I'm just like, get it on my face and get it blended out. But what I love about this, as you can see, is it's just so easy to blend. And obviously if I wanted more coverage, I would use a brush, but I'm wanting it to sheer out a little bit, so that's why I'm using my beauty blender. Let's see how easy that was to blend out. I just really like it. Adds a really light colour to the face whilst also adding definition. Now for blush, coming into summer, blush for me is the one, like the one. I tend to stay away from the sun, but I want to make it look like I've been in the sun, so that's where blush comes in. So my favorite has been the Made by Mitchell liquid blush in the shade Melon Sorbet. It's this like really nice peachy shade, and what I love about these Mitchell blushes is they're matte. I was gonna go in with a brush, but I'm just gonna use my beauty blender and just lightly blend it out. Now these are quite buildable, but I will say start with a little bit because you can easily go in too much with these. But like I said, I love that it's matte because it just means it's gonna last on my skin a lot longer than if this was, say, something like the Charlotte Tilbury ones. Okay, going in with powder. Although I have dry skin, it is summer, which means my makeup is going to melt off. So I'm going to go in with some good powder, and this is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. We all know it and we all love her. And I'm just going to take it on a fluffy brush. So as usual, I set the center of my forehead first and I really press it in. Even if you are a dry skin girly like myself, I really recommend just setting your face really heavily at the start of the day, and especially in summer your natural oils will slowly come through, so it's best to just make sure your makeup is set and you know it's gonna last, then be worried about your dry skin in the beginning of the day. Okay, so I've set my entire face, so now we're gonna go on to bronzer. So because I've set my entire face, I can afford to go in with a glowy bronzer because my makeup's set underneath, so even though it is fully set with powder, this bronzer is going to give the illusion that we have that natural glow from our skin. So this is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion, and this is in the shade 25L. So this is what it looks like. It's got a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but it doesn't come across as shimmer, it doesn't come across as glittery, it just comes across as a lovely glow and a lovely sheen. So I'm going to use this today, and I'm just going to use it on an angled brush. And what I love about these is, like I said, my base is already set underneath, but this just makes your base look like it is glowy, it's all natural. You know, you might just have a bit of cream bronzer on, whereas in reality you've got a full face of makeup on. I just keep it quite high up here. I don't bring it in too far because that's when we can start looking a bit odd. Just on this side, just really focusing it quite high up on the cheeks. And I know some people at the moment are like, you know, doing their bronzer here and then bringing their concealer up here and leaving that gap, but for a more natural look I really like to just merge the two, just to make it look, I don't know, like seamless. And then we'll put a little bit on our nose, not too much because it is glowy, so I don't want it to look like I have a really oily nose. Okay, so then for blush, I want our blush to match our cream blush, so I'm gonna go in with a more affordable option. I've really been loving these at the moment, and these are the Beauty Bay powder blushes, and this is in the shade Coral. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it on a bit of a fluffier brush. Now you do have to be quite careful with these because they are very pigmented, so just be super careful. Because the cream blush is matte, I decided to stick with a matte blush also, like a matte powder blush. So what I'm going to do is just place it right where we put the blush and just really diffuse it. So I have the powder on one side, put it on, and then I'm going to flip my brush that has no product on it just to diffuse that all on my cheeks. Even though that colour looked really intimidating on camera, once you use little and build it up to the way you like it, it is going to be so nice on your face and it won't look as terrifying as it does in the pan. And take your time, like take your time building up blushers and take your time building up your products to the way you want it. Like there's absolutely no rush at all, and if something looks a bit too harsh, just blend it in a bit more. Like everything's easily fixable once you start off with little amounts. And a good hack is if you have put on too much of, say, bronzer or blusher, just get your translucent powder and pat over and it'll diffuse it a little. So to keep in theme with the glow, I'm gonna go in with highlighter. Now I know my natural oils will start coming through during the day, but this highlighter, I just feel like, again, it's not a glittery highlighter, it's a glow from within. So you probably all have it in your collection. It's MAC Soft and Gentle. Everyone, I feel like, has had it in their collection at some point. But what I like to do is I like to take a really small fluffy brush, like a really small one, and really focus this on certain points of my face. So see where the sun hits, that's where I'm focusing this on. And then I'm just going to put a little bit above my brow here and above my brow here. And then I'm now going to grab an even smaller brush and I'm going to use it for like the inner corners of my eyes and my nose. So I'm grabbing this really teeny one and just grabbing it, and I'm just putting this on the inside of my inner corners, and this literally just brightens up your eye, as you can see. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my brow bone. I remember that was such like a 2016 thing of people putting highlighters on their brow bone, but again, I did it the other day and it just brought back my love for highlighter, so I think we're back on the highlighter game. Okay, so now that I have all my powder products on, I'm gonna go in with setting spray. So the setting spray that I've been loving, it's been in a load of my videos now, is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Stay All Day Microfine Setting Mist. Honestly, I would compare this to it being as good as the Charlotte Tilbury one. To be honest, I know everyone loves the Charlotte Tilbury one, but I don't, not that I don't understand the hype, but I didn't see it make my makeup last any longer than any other setting spray. Whereas this one, I noticed it makes my makeup last like every other setting spray, but it's like €3. And I'm like, why would I spend the price of the Charlotte Tilbury one when I can get something that's the exact same, just way cheaper? And this one smells really good too. It smells like cucumber. But what setting spray is going to do is it's just going to melt all your makeup together, make it look less powdery, and it's also going to set all your makeup in place so it lasts all day. And another tip is, if your makeup does start looking dry throughout the day, just bring your setting spray with you, or decant it, and it'll bring your makeup back to life. Okay, usually I don't talk about mascara, but I'm going to talk about mascara today, and the reason is for two reasons. Number one, I prefer, now that I've discovered this, I prefer a brown mascara. I've never found a brown mascara in a mascara that I love that's black. And then when Too Faced Better Than Sex came out in a brown one, I had to try it, and honestly I love it. I just think it looks way more natural, and for someone that's a redhead, having black mascara on can sometimes just look really, really harsh. And again, unless I was going on a night out and I was wearing lashes, or I just wanted a deeper, intenser look, then I would use a black mascara. Because it is more of a natural look, I'm gonna go in with brown mascara. If you watched my May favorites video, you would have seen that I have been obsessed with a lash serum, and it has honestly changed my lashes for the better. I, honest to God, never thought I'd ever stick to a lash serum, but since sticking to this one, my lashes have seriously changed. Like, they've gotten so long, I can't even begin to explain. So I'm just popping this on like I would any other mascara. There is a difference between this and between a black mascara. Guys, look at my lashes. Honestly, you need that lash serum. And I have the worst lashes in the entire world, like no joke. My lashes are shit. So if you want to find out what lash serum it was, link down below, linked in the cards, my May favorites. I heard somewhere though that this mascara is limited edition, so I might have to stock up on it. Or like I said, if you know any other brown mascaras, please let me know, because I am a converted woman. And last but not least is lips. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna wipe my lips of any foundation, because we're not using lipstick, so I don't need a blank canvas. And I find when you're doing a more natural lip, if you don't wipe your lips, you can see like the foundation under it. Okay, so my go-to summer lip combo, I thought I was gonna prefer a more matte lip liner, but I've actually been preferring a more creamy one, because with the sun there is something in my eye, but with the sun, yeah, I just find my lips get so dry, so I've been preferring a creamy one. So I have been using the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. As we all know, my favorite type of lip liner is a brown liner, so I'm just filling in the edges of my lips, like the very edges of my lips, with the liner, and then I'm gonna go in with a gloss, or you can go in with a lip balm, and I'm just gonna my lips together just to blend it. Today was meant to be a 4-year anniversary get ready with me with Joseph, but we decided not to go out and celebrate our anniversary just because we're just not in the headspace with having a baby, and we've got so much going on in June. We were like, we're not doing that. So yeah, but anyways, we're gonna go in with gloss now. So this is the Fenty Beauty Clear Gloss Bomb in the shade Glass Slipper. As you all know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, this was clear until I started using all my lipsticks, and now it looks like one of our other shades. But I just love the look that this lip gloss gives, and the more you wear it, it's like the heat of your lips just makes it more glossy. I'm obsessed with it. So guys, that is the end of my summer makeup routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe. I will leave all the products that I've used on my face down below so you can shop them, and let me know what videos you would like to see, because as we all know, I struggle with videos coming through summer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.